Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another few medical terminology related prefixes which is used in order to denote the information related to body part. Now for those who are directly referring this session, let me tell you the definition for prefix first because without knowing what is prefix, we are not able to understand the meaning of prefix, right? So prefix is a word that attaches at the beginning of any medical terminology and from there it produces some meaning. Okay, so in order to identify the terminology meaning, we should know about the prefixes that is used with those terminology. Okay, so if you remember, like in previous session also, like we have discussed various prefixes that denotes the information related to body part. So this session is in the continuation of same. So we are in part 34. So how we are going to proceed with this session? First of all, I'll tell you the few prefixes with their meaning. And once we are comfortable and once we understand the meaning of the prefix and why we are using it, that once it is clear, then we will also discuss the examples related to those prefix because examples are very important. If you don't know what are the examples and if you don't know how to uh, use those examples, then in that case, it would be not that much of easier for us to identify the medical terminology. Okay, so that's why we will also cover examples for each prefixes that we are learning today. So let's start with the first prefix, which is onic or onico. Now, what is onic or onico? This prefix, these are the two way to use the same prefix, and this prefix is mainly used in order to denote the information related to fingernail or toenail. Okay, so when you want to showcase something as fingernail or toenail, then in that case you can utilize the prefix onic or onico. For example, now, if you look at the first example, which is onicectomy. Onicectomy means surgical removal of a fingernail or toenail because of any of, like, it could be possible that patient is suffering from some disease which is related to fingernail or toenail. Then in that case, a surgical removal is performed to remove the fingernail or toenail from the body. Then in that case, that process or that surgical removal is denoted with the help of prefix onicectomy, where onic is the prefix. Then we have onychitis. Next example is onychitis. Now what is onychitis? It is the inflammation of the fingernail or toenail. Let's say if because of some of the medical reasons, if the uh, fingernail or toenail is inflamed, then in that case we will denote the situation with the help of onychitis. Onychitis. Then we have next example, which is onychocryptosis. Onychocryptosis. Now what is onychocryptosis? Ingrown toenail, a condition where the nail grows into the surrounding skin. Yes, some of the patient is suffering from this disease. Like if their nail grows inside the surrounding skin, then this situation or this medical condition is known as onychocryptosis. Onychocryptosis, where onychocryptosis is a complete medical terminology, and onych is a prefix which is used to denote the information related to fingernail or toenail. Okay. Likewise, if you look at the fourth example, which is onycholysis. Onycholysis. Now, onycholysis is a thing that is used in order to denote separation of the nail from the nail bed. Okay, maybe because of s- some uh, some of the issues, like if the nail is separated from the nail bed, then this situation we will denote with the help of onycholysis. Onycholysis. Okay. Now we can, I think we are done with all these examples for the onic or onico prefix. Now, if you look at all these examples again, then you will find only one common thing in between them, which is fingernail or toenail. Everywhere we are talking about the fingernail or toenail, whether it is the surgical removal of fingernail or toenail, or inflammation of the nails related to toe or finger, or ingrown nail, or somewhere we are talking about the separation of the nail. So these all things are performed uh, or these all things are denoted with the help of prefix onic or onica. Okay, so yeah, now we will move to the next prefix, which is oo. Oo is a prefix which is used to denote the information related to egg or ovary. Okay, so when you would like to denote the information, or whenever there is a medical diagnosis report which is talking about the egg or ovary, then in that case we will use the prefix oo. Okay, for example, oocyte. Now what is oocyte? Oocyte is a medical terminology which is used. uh, Oocyte is a medical terminology where an immature egg cell within the ovary capable of maturing into the ovum during the ovulation. Then this type of immature egg cell is denoted with the help of oocyte. So oocyte is a complete medical terminology, and oo is a prefix which is used to denote the mature egg cell, or you can say ovary. Okay. Then we have next example, which is oogenesis. Oogenesis. Oogenesis means the process of egg cell formation within the ovary. As I told you previously also, like whenever there is a suffix, not the prefix, suffix means the word which is at the end, is related to genesis, then it means something is, it is denoting the process of formation or process of development. So when the process of egg cell formation within the process of egg cell formation within the ovary is denoted with the help of prefix oogenesis. Okay. Then we have next thing or next example, which is oocyst. Now what is oocyst? It is a structure containing the zygote of parasitic organism such as protozoan or helminth. So this type of structure, that containing the zygote or parasitic organism like protozoan or helminth is defined with the help of terminology oocyst, which is started with the prefix oo. Then we have last example, oosperm, which means the product of fusion of an egg cell, oocyte, and sperm cell, leading to the formation of a zygote. So this thing we will denote with the help of medical terminology oosperm. So if you look at all the examples again, you will find only one common thing, which is egg or ovary. Everywhere we are talking about related to the egg or ovary with the help of prefix oo. Okay, so yeah, this is the reason why we are using prefix, like it is always at the beginning. You can see oo, which is denoting the information related to egg and ovary. So far we have discussed two prefix, onic or onico, which is for fingernail and toenail. Then we discussed about oo, which is denoting the information related to egg or ovary. Now we will look at the third prefix, which is oo4. Oo4 means it is a prefix which is used to denote the information related to ovary. Now there might be one question from you guys, like why we are using, why we are studying another prefix. Yes, we should know about this thing also, because for, like, it is not like, it is possible that there are various alternative prefixes available for a single thing, right? So we should know about all these things, because in exam or in interview there could be any prefix used. Any prefix could be used as a question, right? So we should aware of all the type of prefixes. So let's look at how oo4 is used in order to denote ovary. The first example is oo4ectomy. Oo4ectomy means surgical removal of one or both ovaries. Okay, so this thing we will denote with the help of terminology oo4ectomy. Then we have oophoritis. What is oophoritis? Inflammation of the ovary. Because of any medical reason, if the ovary is inflamed, then this thing we will denote with the help of terminology oophoritis. Likewise, if you look at the third example, which is oophorpexy, oophorpexy means surgical fixation of displaced ovary. And at last, we have another example, which is oophoplasty, which is used to denote the surgical repair of an ovary. Okay, so yeah, these are the all prefixes which I would like to share with you all in this session. I hope it is clear to all of you. And for today, there is one question for you guys, like what information is provided by the prefix oculo or onco. If you know the answer of this question, then please share your knowledge in the comment section so that others can take reference from it. But if you don't know the answer, then you can refer the previous session. There we have already discussed this thing in detail. So that would help you to identify these the meaning of these prefixes. Okay. So yeah, that's all for today. In the next session, we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.